We had the idea of working with some volunteers to collect the data that we currently have and to hold a workshop, a summit workshop, to actually look at the data together, analyse what it means and come up with some interpretation about what's working well, what's not working so well, and what IAP2 might do into the future. Now, the idea is eventually these state of the practice reports might be done for every state and territory of Australia and New Zealand, but it's always sensible to pilot the process first. So we began by just looking at Victoria. But the event itself was a one-day long participatory workshop. I think about 30 people came along, members of IAP2, and we had some members from the international board there as well who were interested in the process. It was very much a bit of a guinea pig process where we invited some people to come along to analyse the data with us and to make some interpretation, and that will feed into the first draft state of the practice report.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I think the state of practice in Victoria at the moment is too reliant on bureaucrats who have wonderful will, wonderful intentions and an increasing range of skills. However, we don't yet have the buy-in of the real decision makers and the people who actually hold the power.
What I'd like to get out of the workshop today is really a bit of a stock-take about where we're at in terms of IAP2 and community engagement, stakeholder consultation, public participation, where we're at in the state, but also to identify some real opportunities for us to move forward with, so whether it's additional training or programs or events, but mechanisms for us to really support our practitioners in Victoria.
What I'd like to get out of today is having the opportunity to collaborate and share experiences and knowledge and help to build what we know about practice.
For me, from being in the communications team at Melbourne Water, we're just in the process of rolling out our stakeholder engagement strategy. So I think for today, I'd really like to look at our evaluation processes, which is the last section of our strategy. So I think that would be really important for me to learn from other people about evaluation mechanisms and the state of engagement within Victoria.
Working in stakeholder engagement can be a very rewarding experience. It can also generate a number of challenges that are particularly hard to deal with, usually around managing expectations. Today for me is about creating almost like a safe environment where practitioners and experts in their field can come together, share and reflect and maybe acknowledge some of those challenges that we face. I would hope that going into the future we almost create in effect an incubator here where we can generate creative solutions and innovative approaches to helping advance our practice.
3, 5, 6s.
The narrative around the work that's been happening is really strong and really encouraging, and I'm heartened by that, and I think today's conversations are another example of that.
Today has been really interesting as far as being able to be in the same room with people from state government and consultants and local government, and to really hear from different people what they think the state of practice in Victoria is.
And I think an enabler for us is having a visionary, bit of risk-taking. What I would like to get out of this workshop is to get an understanding of where we are. It's always good, I think, to sort of stop and reflect on what we're doing and try to get some shared understanding in terms of a direction for our practice.
I think what's exciting about this is that participants themselves are determining what those criteria will be. So I think participatory evaluation is something that I'm much less familiar with. I do much more of that formal academic evaluation. So I'm really excited about the experience and I'm learning a lot already.
I would like to get a really clear understanding of exactly where our practice is at the moment and a clear understanding of where it is that we want to go and how we need to get there.
What I like about community engagement people is that they're very generous with their knowledge, and so it's building on, it's this continuous improvement cycle and learning from each other, and the generosity benefits everyone.
Don't forget that thought, because we need to capture it.
From them at least went away feeling like they had.
What I'm hoping to get out of today was an understanding of the state of practice across Victoria. I don't feel I'm particularly well networked outside of my local government area,
So I was hoping that I would be able to get a stronger sense for how people feel they're travelling in really deepening engagement and consultation.
In terms of the state of practice in Victoria, I think it's reasonably healthy. I think it's growing and strengthening day by day, but I think it's in a positive space.
When we've been looking at things like the quality of practice or the quality of reach, the scope and scale, the capability to have it embedded in organisations, I think it's going to give us a really good and deep snapshot of the state of practice in community engagement.
What I hope to get out of the State of Practice workshop was a better sense of where Victoria is and where we are in terms of where Victoria is, I guess. So a sense of relativity.
We've got this incredible demand for what we have. We have a really good, solid product. But the demand for it and the need for practical, realistic type services and products is outstripping what we can provide as a group of volunteers.
How embedded in culture it is.
Right at the beginning, because otherwise you have to be schizophrenic.
I'm wanting to shamelessly use this report as it gets developed across the states as a leverage point for decision makers to say, are we doing well enough in terms of community engagement? Where do we stand? And what do we need to do next to really be the epitome of putting community at the heart of our decision making? So I've got a slightly sneaky set of expectations, as well as the more enduring ones of having a measure for the difference we make in people's lives.